Mic check, testing 1, 2, 3. Hello everybody and welcome to Political Science 441, Campaigns and Elections for the fall of 2014. I'm the Professor Michael Smith, and while I don't video record myself giving lectures and post those videos on the web normally as part of my online teaching, I do like to make a first day of class video. And today is the first day of our class because I've set it up as a Tuesday-Thursday class. Not that we'll be having regular meetings. It will be a work-at-your-own-pace class with assignments given and graded on the web through Canvas. But I still like to have that personal touch. I like to give you a chance to see what I look like, hear my voice, realize that there's an actual person here on the other end of Canvas who's actually giving these assignments and grading these projects. And I hope you'll do the same thing. In fact, one of your first day of class assignments is to make a video of your own, unless you prefer to do an audio recording or write a short essay. But no matter which approach you choose, I'd like for you to introduce yourself. So for the first assignments, you'll have two. One is to learn how to take quizzes in Canvas, and I'm about to show you that on this video right here. And the other one is to make a video just like this one, except shorter, unless you choose to do an audio recording or essay instead, and also post it on the course Canvas site. And so in a little bit I'm going to show you how to do that. And I just really enjoy having that personal touch where I get to know a little bit about you and you a little bit about me. My preferred options is that you'd make a video so that I can see your face and hear your voice, as well as hear a little bit about why you took this class and what you're hoping to learn. But if you don't have the technology to do that and you prefer to do an audio recording only, we can still hear your voice, or failing that, write an introductory essay. But first, before I get into showing you how to post all that on Canvas, let me talk a little bit about this class. Again, it's Political Science 441, Campaigns and Elections, and this class is about effective political campaigns. This class is a combination of academic theory and practical politics. The academic theory will come in the book by Samuel Popkin, The Reasoning Voter. The practical politics will come in the book by Robert McNamara. I believe it's Robert. Last name's McNamara, I know. And that's called The Political Campaign Desk Reference. And then the last book, The Gamble by John Sides and Lynn Vavrick, is a combination of both academic theory and practical politics. It takes political science ideas and applies them to the 2012 presidential election. I'm really excited about this book. It just came out, and it's going to be really exciting to teach this class using material that is current and relevant. Now, the way this class will work is that every Monday and Wednesday I'm going to post new assignments. And those new assignments will almost always go with readings, usually one chapter of one book at a time, but every now and then doubling up if the chapters are a little shorter. And what I'll do is first you'll have that reading assignment, so you've absolutely got to get those 3 books, and then you'll have some sort of an assignment that comes from the reading. Sometimes it will be a multiple choice quiz. Usually if it's one chapter, 3 questions, 5 points each, 15 points total. Or if it is multiple chapters, if it's 2 chapters, it will be 5 points. And that's not the only kind of assignment that you'll have, though. You'll also have other assignments, and in particular, the other kinds of assignments are most likely to come from the McNamara Political Campaign Desk Reference book. And those will assign you to do practical things related to a political campaign, like write an agenda for a meeting of your steering committee, or write a candidate biography, or write a piece of literature, some sort of a postcard or handout for your candidate and your campaign. And I should note right here that the final assignment due at the end of the semester is a complete campaign plan. You'll be able to build pieces of that campaign plan through the homework assignments, and then you'll turn the whole works, the final campaign plan, in at the end of the semester in December. It'll be a 10 to 15 page long assignment, and I'll ask you to go step by step through the different aspects of a successful campaign as summarized in the McNamara book, and you'll be able to draw on some of those earlier homework assignments for that campaign plan. Now, let me tell you this, you might as well start thinking about that campaign plan early, since it relates to the homework assignments you'll have starting early on in the semester. Excuse me. And there are a few requirements for the campaign plan. Again, excuse me. First of all, I want you to take a local office. One of the most famous quotes in modern American politics comes from Tip O'Neill. Thomas O'Neill was his full name. He was Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives in the 1970s and 1980s. He was a congressman from Cambridge, Massachusetts, outside Boston. He was an old school Irish Boston politician, a hardcore Democrat, although he got along well with Ronald Reagan. And he had this classic quote, "All politics is local." And the point here is that even in Congress, a lot of the issues they deal with are issues that concern their home districts. And not only that, but a lot of elected officials start out at the local level. They start out running for city commission, for county commission, for state representative, for school board, and many people have illustrious careers working in local and state level offices all through their careers. Others choose to try a run for Congress or even for U.S. Senate, and every now and then even for United States President. After all, Barack Obama was an Illinois state senator only 4 years before he became President of the United States. Illinois state senator is the kind of office I want you to focus on. So I'm not going to ask you to do a campaign plan for anyone running for president, for Senate, for governor, for any national or statewide office. The highest level office, if you consider local level offices to be lower level and national to be higher level, in that case the highest level office that I would encourage you to do for your campaign plan is U.S. Congress, and even that may not be your most effective bet. I would stick with something like state representative or city commission, school board, or something like that. Local offices, remember Tip O'Neill, all politics is local. Now here's the next thing. I want you to use a real person, not yourself. I want you to use a real live person, someone who you actually dream might actually seek political office someday. I'm talking about someone you know, not a famous public figure. Maybe you have a relative, a parent, a sibling, who you've always thought, I wish that person would run for school board. She would be so good. I hope someday I can talk her into running for school board because they need her on the local school board. Or maybe you have a friend that's always been kind of interested in politics, talking about politics, and you want to say, hey, it's time to get in the game. There's an opening coming up on the Emporia City Commission. We need new ideas, new talent, new blood. This is your time. And I'm going to write your campaign plan that could help you get elected to that office. Use not only a real person, but I'm talking about someone you know personally, not a public figure. If you have no idea who that could possibly be, you could use other students in the class. Now, I know it's a little bit tricky to meet people in a class when it's online, but you can look at the other videos. I can make those available to you and get to know the other students that way. And you may have friends who are also registered in this class. That's another thing you could do. A friend. Maybe you've got a friend that you're thinking, gosh, I really wish you'd get into politics. You're always talking about it. I wish you'd do it. You could really make a difference. Write a campaign plan for that person. So, local office, or up through state representative and state senator, but no higher, and an actual real life person you know for your campaign plan. And as for the other steps, well, we can wait on those because the McNamara book walks us through step by step the different things we need to know to put together an effective campaign plan. And that's your big assignment due at the end of the semester. And so what about the books? What books are we going to be reading? Well, I'm going to turn the camera around now, and I'm going to bring those up. Let me show you. Here's our first book, The Reasoning Voter by Samuel Popkin. This is a classic. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. The examples in this book are a little dated. Now, the good thing about that is that it means this book is available in paperback for a very reasonable price. As you can see, the buy new link here is a little over $19, and there are also some other options. But the downside is that the examples are a little dated. On the other hand, you may enjoy learning a little bit about political campaigning history, because the examples in this book come from the late 1960s through the early 1990s. What's even more important, though, than the examples in this book is the theory. And the theory is called low information rationality. Essentially what Popkin argues, this is one of the classics of political science, what Popkin argues is that voters don't generally seek out information about political campaigns. Rather, they pick up cues from the information that is readily available. Things they see on TV, things they see in local campaign activities like rallies and signs and things like that. And of course commercials and things like that. And so voters make the best decision they can based on the readily available information rather than researching or seeking out information. And effective political campaigns will get those what he calls information shortcuts to the voters in such a way as to sell their message and win the election. An absolute political classic with lots of examples from late 20th century political campaigns. The next book is one I've already mentioned several times. It's this one right here, The Political Campaign Desk Reference by, and it's Michael McNamara. Robert McNamara, of course, was the Secretary of Defense during the first part of the Vietnam War. This would be Michael McNamara. And this is a book, this is our practical politics book. Again, note the price, very, very affordable. And this book walks you through, step by step, the different things you need to do to have an effective political campaign. From the steering committee, to the meetings, to the message, to the fundraising plan, to opposition research, it's all there. And we're going to have lots of homework coming out of this book, but don't worry, I'll space it out with readings from the other books and multiple choice quizzes in between, so you'll have time to relax and really do these assignments well. And they won't be traditional assignments, by the way. They won't be like term papers, because political campaigns rarely involve term papers. You're going to be doing things like creating your own campaign brochure and writing meeting agendas and things like I mentioned earlier that are practical things you'd need to do to run an effective political campaign. And then finally, I'm really excited about this one, The Gamble by John Sides and Lynn Vavrick. This is new. This is brand new. Now, on the website here, and again, yet again, notice the affordable price, but on the website here, it actually says pre-order, but they're talking about a new version with a new introduction. There's already a version available. And it is a great book. Really excited about this. It's got a positive quote here from Nate Silver, the polling data analyzer who used to be involved in sports and created the idea of Moneyball, and now is very involved in analyzing political polling data, and his predictions are almost always dead accurate. There's Nate Silver's quote there. Sorry, it's a little blurry. John Sides is quite an up-and-comer in political science, and Lynn Vavrick as well. And they're going to take these political science theories, including the Popkin, which you will be reading in another one of our books I showed you earlier, and also others, and seeing how they played out in the real world in the 2012 presidential election. And what you'll see in this book is that political scientists don't always agree with the folks we see on the news media. The news media, for example, often talk about a political debate or a political gaffe as being a game changer. Look here, they mentioned game changers right there. I hope that's not too blurry to read. And in fact, Sides and Vavrick argue, no, there aren't a lot of game changers in political